Hey, it's Aaron. Today I'm with the 2022 Hyundai Santa Cruz. This is the brand new pickup from Hyundai, and it is competing with other small car-based trucks like the Ford Maverick and the Honda Ridgeline. It is very well done. It looks really good. I really like this color. You have two choices of engine. Both of them are 2.5 liter 4 cylinders. One of them is turbocharged. That's what I have here. One of them is not turbocharged. With the turbocharged engine, you get the maximum tow rating of 5,000 pounds. With the not turbocharged engine, you're down to 3,000 pounds. But honestly, I think the turbo is better just because it drives better. From the side here, you can see this is a compact pickup truck, of course. I love the wheels on this. This is the limited package. These are beautiful wheels. Those are really good Michelin tires, by the way. And then just the bodywork. You can see it shares a little bit with the Santa Fe. The interior has a lot of shared stuff with the Santa Fe crossover SUV. But the exterior here, it follows Hyundai's design language. We've talked about that before, how it makes kind of an arrow-shaped V thing happening in the middle of the bodywork and stuff. It's a little less accentuated here. I'll walk in, give you some perspective. So you can see here, it is compact. It's a good size, actually. You want a smaller truck, this is where you're going to be going. Ford Maverick is roughly this size. The Honda Ridgeline is a little larger, but we're going to see, I think, more and more competition in this car-based pickup truck. I apologize for the wind. Nothing I can do about it. Everything I try does not mitigate the damn wind, which is just part of the show. Anyway, body lines. I just want you to look and see, you'll see a lot of Hyundai happening in here. Fender bulges are way more pronounced than normal. They come out very, very sharply here, creates almost, I don't know what degree that would be, but it's a very pronounced body shelf. And then these are very also pronounced with a little truck in the middle. It's kind of cool. And then you can see the V I was talking about with kind of the arrow shape right here. And then there's sort of another one down there hinted at. Back in the back though, they did not do that, which they do on other Hyundai vehicles. Instead, this line here where the V comes together, the arrowhead runs along like this and goes all the way back to make a capper for the taillights. This is a bulge much like the front and has the same fender cover and everything. Really nice design. I like the sport roof with the canted back. I'm having a hard time with words again. That's also part of my MO, isn't it? Yeah. So anyway, with the rear pillar here, kind of going at an angle instead of straight up and down, and the window swoops upward towards that to kind of narrow the rear without actually narrowing the rear. The back seat is small, but it's more accommodating than I would have expected. We'll get to that in a minute. But the body lines just run along here and do a really good job of all coming together. Then you got the caps up here for the bed and the spoiler looking thing up here. Just a nicely done, these are not functional roof rails, but you can get those. And yeah, just a nicely done setup. Let's look at the working end because it is a pickup truck and that is a very important part of it. And I'll mention towing again because I think it's an important point with a small vehicle like this. A lot of people overlook that. And then we'll get inside. So on the back of the truck here, you can see the design language continues. You can see kind of flat but bulbing a little bit down here and straight across here to kind of create some style to go with the little bit of lip here, you know, for wind, and just the whole overall design. There are bumper steps, which is nice. This is low enough. I don't know how many people really need that, but it is kind of cool. And then this does not have a tow kit on it, but if you do get the tow kit, again, it's 3,000 pounds with the regular engine, 5,000 pounds with the turbocharged 2.5. And also, I once again need to point out that that does not include any sort of trailer brake control, which at that kind of weight, you start thinking you really need it. So let's look at the inside. This is the bed with the bed cover. So you can see here, it's pretty standard. It was soft open, right? There's some cup holders and other stuff on here. Also pretty standard fare for a truck like this. This does come off. These are on quick clips that pop off, and so you can lift this off if you want to unplug it and you need to remove it. The cover here comes off fairly easily, or opens pretty easily, and rolls into this, which takes up some of the bed space, but this cover is awful useful. Also, you see the tether that's on it. That's so that it won't bounce around, and so that you can pull it all the way forward without having to climb in and reach for it. The only thing I don't like about this cover is it's kind of stiff, but the thing I really don't like is I'm not a big fan of this latch up here. I think it's just kind of, it's extraneous. It's not needed. I think that this could have been greatly simplified. It doesn't need a latch at all, or it could have just been set up so that, you know, in order to lock and unlock it from this position and the other positions that are in there, there could have been just something that you pull or something simpler. This just feels kind of, it feels weak, honestly. But that is a good port. That is a good thing to have if you need some sort of cover, which I would recommend for a bed this small, because most of the time you're going to be putting smaller things. Speaking of which, there is a small tub in here. Now, it's not nearly as large and deep as as what's found in a Honda Ridgeline, but it is a very usable little space. You could put several grocery bags in there. You could put a few other things in there. I'll show you some photos as I'm talking about it. It's on these pistons hold it nicely upright, and then it has its own latch, and there's a physical, or a what do you call it, electronic button right here, just like on the doors, and it's locks when the rest of the truck is locked. So pretty neat little setup in here. There's a little light in there and all that. It's a good cargo space for, I need to hide my stuff. It's also got drain plug in the bottom of it, FYI. The other thing the bed comes with are several tie down points. There are D hooks on up front on the bottom, up on this end at the bottom. There are also these sailor style D hooks hanging off so that you can tie to and clip on. Those are also up in the front corners, but this is in the way of them. So if you do get that option, there's also these sliding. Where are they? There it is. These sliding rail hooks that you can move around. So those are also nice and useful. There's bed lighting in this particular model, so you do have LED lights on either side of the bed right here shining in, plus the one up there. And the rear glass, just as an FYI, is manual. There is not an electric one. So that's kind of the working end. I really do like this setup. I think it's well done for a small pickup truck. Let's go get inside it. So before I get in, I want to point out that the back seats fold up flat like this, both sides, and then you have that tub down there, but that tub can be pulled out. You can remove it, and you can stick things in here as needed. Otherwise, there's the back seating. Let me get in. Now, I said it was cramped. I wasn't totally locked in at all. This is set for me at 6'3". You can see my knees are right up on it. I really do need a couple more inches there. And roof-wise, I am hitting. Now, there is a bulge back here, so if I sit up straight, I have headroom. I have almost 2 fingers, but, you know, getting in and stuff, I'm hitting my head doing that. And then this bulge starts right about where my head is right here, and so I'm scraping it all the time. Nice thought, but I think it needs to, you know, this needs to move forward a little bit, or just delete the sunroof so you get the extra headroom as a result. The seats back here are flat, not horribly comfortable, but not terrible either. If I had more legroom, I would be happy back here. So, you know, 6'3", I'm really not the person you want to be putting in the back seat of a car like this. In the front, though, I have plenty of room. Let's go check that out. So up front here, I have lots of room. Plenty of headroom. I've got probably 2 inches. I've got nearly 3 fingers worth up there. That's a lot of headroom for me at my size, 6'3". And then the interior is just nicely done. It's very similar to the Santa Fe. So you see a lot of similarity in terms of the design and the layout, and a lot of the little extras that Hyundai does. Like this particular one has the blind spot cameras, so it has the surround view cameras. The camera in the mirror on the door shows in the on either side, depending on which way you have your turn signal running. So if I turn left, the left side will show that camera's view on the left, so that I can see what's in my blind spot. Same thing on the right. Really cool. Also, visibility through this is okay. A little bit narrow. And that's part of the beast, just because of the design they had to do. And if, of course, like any truck, if you got anything in the back, this is totally useless mirror. But the side mirrors are good size. They're not big, but they're not too small either. They're just about right. So as long as you're not towing something large, those side mirrors are great. If you are towing a long trailer, you probably just picked the wrong vehicle for that. That's really the best way to put it. But I really love the larger infotainment that's included with this particular package. I really do like just the general layout, the comfort level, and the feel. Has a very good Bose stereo. Nicely done in here. Let's take a quick look at the Monroney on this. So pulling out the paperwork, you can see that all told, we're at about 41.5 on this with delivery. That's a pretty good price considering this is the top end limited and it has almost all the goodies included. The base price without that delivery cost and the sage gray paint, which is a $400 surcharge, and the carpeted floor mat, which are $200. Base price, if you don't throw those options on, is $38,720. And then you can see the rest. All this stuff is included. It has a lot of good stuff. This is the Turbo 4, like I said. 8-speed dual clutch transmission. It's a beautiful transmission. I did not get a chance to tow because this has no tow package, but I assume it's okay as long as the load isn't too much. The feel of the engine's power is very good in this. And this has all-wheel drive, which is awesome. It has paddle shifters. I don't know if anybody cares about that. If I was pulling a trailer, maybe I would care about that downhill, but this doesn't pull heavy enough loads that's really a concern. Other than that, you can see there's a lot of stuff included. Now, looking at the MPGs, that's going to be important to anybody buying this. It's rated at 27 on the highway. On my highway loop, it's about 42 miles, a little less than that, as a run out and back on the same road, going both directions, so it mitigates any elevation changes. The 27 listed was really conservative. I got really close to 29. I got 28.7 out of this, and I wasn't even trying. That wasn't with hypermiling or doing anything special. That was just me driving the car like I normally would drive the car on the freeway, technically, and driving it, at 75 miles an hour at high altitude. So that turbo really pays off. Really did a good job on the fuel economy in this. That's, as far as I remember, that's better than any of the competitors for this. So that's very good, and just a nice little car. A nice feeling truck too. It drives well. It gets a lot of eyeballs because people haven't seen a whole bunch of these on the road yet. So it gets a lot of looks. So there you go. That's about what I've got to say about the 2022 Hyundai Santa Cruz. It's a wonderful vehicle to drive around in. Feels really good, and it's a very good small pickup. So, for your quick runs over to the home improvement store, things like that. I hauled some wood pellets for our wood pellet stove. I hauled a little bit of lumber from the lumber store that I like to go to for my wood carving. I did a few little things like that. This kind of stuff this is made for. I even made a Harbor Freight run to get a couple of things. This is great for that stuff. Now, if you're going to be hauling really heavy loads, if you're going to be pulling heavy trailers, obviously you need a bigger pickup truck. But for what this is made for, this is a great setup. And I think Hyundai did a wonderful job on their first try at a serious pickup truck. So kudos and good job. It really is a good job. So that's what I got. This has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon. Subscribe.